It is summer, and in summer there is usually not much news, and it is better that way because when there is important news, it is usually bad news, and that's why the previous ones are still being discussed. For example, abortion. The European Parliament has approved, with no less than two-thirds of the votes, that abortion should be considered a human right, which is terrible. This shows how the situation is in the whole continent. In view of this result, there are many politicians and the citizens who support them with their votes, who seem determined to commit suicide to their own countries, to commit suicide, especially because in Europe, at least in most of the countries, the birth rate is very low, so low that it's not easy to reach by far the rate of maintenance of the population, and that if they maintain to keep due to immigration, well, that's all right. For them, the solution is to kill the innocent. It is the culture of death of which St. John Paul II spoke, to solve problems by killing. Well, we have to see that one-third of the European politicians, that is to say, one-third of Europeans are in favor of life. Therefore, all is not lost. And this third that is in favor of life is becoming more and more enthusiastic. The ruling of the United States Supreme Court against abortion being considered a right has raised the spirits, and proof of these are the recent pro-life demonstrations, more numerous than ever in Ireland, for example, or in Spain. Those who are in favor of death to solve the problems are already spiritually deaf. They do not know it, but the future is not theirs. It is not theirs because destruction cannot build anything. It only knows how to raise and destroy it. Another topic has been one more of the interviews made to Pope Francis. In this case, it has been made by the journalists of the Royalist Agency, and they asked the Pope again, among other things, about abortion. The Pope has been very clear about it. He had said that he does not want to pronounce on the sentence of the North American Supreme Court, which has not done the European Parliament, which has condemned this sentence, making an act of interference in another country, in this case in the United States. The Pope has said that he does not want to pronounce himself, but that he considers abortion something abominable, and he has compared the women who go to the abortion parlors and those who help them. He has compared them to people who hire a hitman and kill an enemy, a rival. It is a comparison that he has already made other times. It is a very hard comparison. The abortionist, the doctor who performs the abortion, is the cruelest, the most despicable criminal, according to the Pope, because he has compared him to a hitman, someone who kills on request. I am sure that neither the abortionists, nor those who perform abortions like it, nor the companies that lives from the business of the death of the innocent, I am sure that they did not like that at all. But it was also news in this interview the issue of whether or not the bishop can deny communion to an abortionist politician. The Pope said that the bishop must never cease to be a shepherd. Well, this response of the Pope has been interpreted generally as a criticism to the Archbishop of San Francisco, Monsignor Cordileone, because he has denied the possibility to communion to Nancy Pelosi, the Democratic Party Speaker of the U.S. Congress, who confesses to being a practicing Catholic and who recently received communion at the Vatican even on St. Peter and Paul's Day. I do not see why this is a criticism of Monsignor Cordileone. Perhaps I am very naive, but the Pope has said that the bishop must always be a good shepherd. Of course, that is what Monsignor Cordileone has done. He has been a good shepherd. He has warned this lady who confesses to be a good Catholic. He has warned her of the seriousness of her acts, and he has let her know that she has to convert, and she has to reject the evil she is doing. That is what a good shepherd does. The good shepherd does not accompany the sheep to the precipice to see how they throw themselves into it or even push them. The good shepherd tries that the sheep does not throw themselves into the abyss. That is what Monsignor Cordileone has done. That is why I do not see why the words of the Pope are necessarily a criticism to a good shepherd as Monsignor Cordileone is. Another topic that is inevitably always present is that of the Germany. Well, Cardinal Marx, Archbishop of Munich, one of the Pope's main advisors, has said that deaconesses must be approved, as if they know all that this is a trick, a stratagem to later approve the female priesthood. First, they said that the deaconesses have nothing to do with the sacrament of holy orders and that they are auxiliary in the work of the priests, as can be the acolytes, or in this case, the female acolytes. Well, but once the deaconesses are ordained, the same ones, the same people who are now saying that it has nothing to do with the sacrament of the holy orders, or would say that indeed has to do with the sacrament of the holy orders, that it has 3 stages, the first of which precisely the diaconate. The same thing I said last week. They think we are fools and that we do not realize what they are trying to do. Of course, Cardinal Marx has been replied by an association of Catholic women, Maria 1.0, which has rejected what he's asking for and has also asked the Pope to intervene. More and more voices from Germany are speaking out in favor of a quick and urgent intervention by the Pope as soon as possible to prevent this from going any further. This week, a well-known priest has expressed his discomfort, his anger, he said. He's angered at the passivity of the Vatican and has said that for a long time now it is being allowed in Germany and in other countries that the division of the church is being increased and is taking place. I really liked a pastoral letter this week. I don't usually talk about pastoral letters of bishops, but I especially like this one. It is the pastoral letter of the Bishop of Escuintla in Guatemala, Monsignor Palma. The increase of delinquency in Guatemala, unfortunately, is tremendous. It is more and more dangerous according to the indexes and according to what this bishop denounces. But he has not been satisfied with denouncing the increase in crime, which is what bishops who are barely politically correct generally do and who say what they are expecting to say and who are generally not listened to by anyone and their words are little use, if any use at all. Monsignor Palma has said that it is good that we must condemn the increase in crime. Of course, I do not think that anyone will say that he thinks the increase in crime is good. But we must go to the roots, and the root is the destruction of the family. That is the cause. When the family does not exist, the person remains at the mercy of so many influences that come from outside, of so many stimuli towards evil, and very few stimuli towards good, and they follow again and again into that which ends up destroying themselves. A destroyed family generates all that is bad in society. That is why, if politicians were really responsible and interested in the good of their people, they will have to put the maximum concern in helping the family to be instructed and stable. A stable family is a guarantee of healthy people and a guarantee of a future in which one can be in peace and prosperity. That is the root. I cannot understand how they think it is wrong to shoot a person, which is indeed wrong. And it is not wrong to kill an innocent human being in its mother womb. But if it is a human being, it is a person. It is not a legal person because it has not been born, but it is a person. It is a human being. Is there right to kill an innocent human being who has done absolutely nothing wrong and consider that death a human right? Is that right? And on the other hand, it is wrong to kill someone who stole his wallet or to make an act of revenge. This logic is absurd. That is to say, this approach is illogical. To accept abortion, to legalize abortion, to consider it a right, it's open the door to all the disaster to follow, because nothing can be as terrible and serious as killing an innocent person who has not even had the opportunity to be born. As always, let us pray. Until next week, God willing.